Edward Morgan Forster was a British writer. He was born in 1879 in Marylebone, London, the son of architect Edward Morgan Llewellyn Forster and Alice Clara Wicello. He attended Tonbridge School and studied classics at King's College, Cambridge. In 1887, at the age of 80, he inherited £8,000, £946,000 today, so he could devote himself to writing. During World War I, he was a conscientious objector, serving as chief searcher for missing servicemen for the British Red Cross in Alexandria. In 1937, he received the Benson Medal. Forster never married, and engaged in a long-term homosexual relationship with Bob Buckingham, a married policeman. He became an honorary fellow at King's College in 1946, living on the premises but not doing very much. In 1949, he rejected a knighthood. He died in 1970 of a stroke at the Buckingham's home in Coventry, Warwickshire. His first novel, Where Angels Fear to Tread, came out in 1905. His 1924 A Passage to India won the James Tate Black Memorial Prize. We will review his 1911 The Celestial Omnibus and Other Stories. The Story of a Panic has a group on holiday in Italy around Ravello, with the narrator taking a particular dislike to the boy Eustace. One day, as they go for a picnic, they are all seized by a sudden, inexplicable panic fear of something great and intangible and forced to run for it. All but Eustace, who remains and becomes different. Running about the forest, he becomes possessed of a spirit that would literally have him die if he was forced to sleep closed in his room at night as they intend for his own good. But then Gennaro, the waiter who betrayed Eustace, runs off with him and sets him free, so that Eustace would not die. Like others Gennaro had known, possessed of the spirit who could not run free. The Other Side of the Hedge is an allegory of humanity running always along a meandering road, the narrator winding up in a peaceful country in the hedge which leads nowhere, and to whom all that is left of humanity will one day return. In The Celestial Omnibus, an unnamed boy sees a poster advertising an omnibus that goes to heaven. One night he sneaks out and does find the omnibus in the alley, and after a journey to meet people like Achilles and Mrs. Gamp, he comes back home. His parents do not believe him. His father canes him and laughs at him for being the source of infinite ignorance. But the boy takes the self-righteous Mr. Bonds with him next time. But the latter cannot see anything that the boy sees, and his return journey is much swifter than his journey hither. Other Kingdom has Harcourt bring a woman with him whom he intends to marry and of whom no one knows anything, and tries to educate her into Western culture by being taught the classics. He even buys her the Other Kingdom wood in a nearby forest as an engagement gift, and she is very happy about it. But then when Harcourt sends his ward Ford away for daring to make fun of him, she becomes sullen. Then one day in her forest declares her love for Ford and disappears into the trees in front of everyone, revealing that she was not a mortal woman at all. In The Curate's Friend, a young curate meets a Faun, the pipe-playing hairy variety, who ruins his engagement to Emily and somehow seems to think it was good of him to do, the curate agreeing for no real reason I could see, still being accompanied by the invisible Faun for the rest of his life. The road from Colonus has Mr. Lucas visiting Greece, trying to revolt against his own advancing age, but finds every place he comes to disappointing still. But one day he finds a barren plain with a single hollow tree with water running out of it in a stream adorned by locals as a shrine for the Virgin Mary. He is insistent that he would stay at this magical place, but his family refuse to let him and bodily kidnap him. It turns out the tree would have crushed a lot of them that night anyway, but his final defeat had sunk him into such vacant senility he no longer knows or cares. The Celestial Omnibus and The Story of a Panic really remind me of Algernon Blackwood.